Well, there's multiple gangs established in the Chicagoland area, right? Like many of the big cities. So the Latin Kings, the Gangster Disciples. You got the Hispanic gangs, the African American gangs. Trent Largo, I think, is going to make their own footprint, and I'm assuming
Mhm.
they're going to be aligned with the Hispanic gangs. What's ironic is that even back in December when I was filming these guys when they're getting dropped off on the bus, the first thing they do when they touch ground here in my neighborhood is flat. That guy you saw there's flashing his gang sign. I mean, as soon as he steps foot in the ground, they're coming here to get established. They're coming here to commit crime and havoc and get aligned to all the different criminal enterprises that are in the Chicagoland area, as well as some of the other cities, to make money, to disrupt our society.
But you and I were talking a bit in the break, and it's not the first time we've seen gang activity, right? In fact, if you look back in our history and just particularly the history of New York, and there's been movies about it, right? Gangs of
Hmm.
New York, of the
Hmm.
different immigrant gangs. It seems like we are at a time in our present that could repeat itself. Although I would say it would be far more dangerous now, even than it was before. Do you think so?
Absolutely, it's going to be way worse than it was 100 years ago. My grandparents came from Italy, Bari, Italy. My grandfather came here, opened up a bakery to start a better life for his family, and he was supposed to pay a street tax. And what they would do is they pray against the Italians. Back in like 1910 or something. There's my grandpa, and they preyed upon them. Right. And they had to pay a street tax. What was the street tax for? To protect them from the organized crime elements. So as the Italian community got established and organized crime grew, and as they had started getting into the liquor during prohibition, they started moving up the food chain. But until then, they would prey off their own people, and that's the exact same thing that's going to happen with the Venezuelan, the Tren de Aragua, is that they have people that are here coming in the United States that owe these cartels money. What are they going to do? They're going to make sure they work and they collect the money that goes to the cartels, and they'll probably collaborate with those cartels while they're trying to embed themselves within the communities of selling drugs and prostitution, all these other things. But they're going to have to fight against what's established here over turf wars. So what they did in Aurora, Colorado, they're starting to do here in Chicago. So it was published in the last few
Mm,
days that they went to 61st and King Drive, Martin Luther King Drive. That's an African American community, but it's not too far from the Pilsen Center, where we caught all these Venezuelans selling drugs right in front of the center. And they went there in motorcycles, just like the motorcycles you saw here. A lot of them are using these motorcycles to commit crimes. They're doing it in New York as well with little mopeds. I think we all seen it. And they're going to be more sophisticated because of the electronic communications, right? There's so many
yeah.
drugs that are coming into the United States. It wasn't like that 100 years ago as they established with bootleg and stuff, right? They have so much money they have access to, and they have soldiers that are embedding and moving out to the western suburbs. There's crimes going all over the suburbs, even in my nice mall here. The 150 Venezuelans were arrested in 6 months. Some of them 6, 7, 8 times. They got their ankle bracelets that are in the vehicles. From that Biden puts their ankle bracelets on so we could monitor them.